Hey guys, so I wanted to show you today the minerals that we looked at in class and that hopefully you were able to do a little bit of research online. In class, our first mineral was this nice silver to dark gray cube with a very metallic luster on the streak plate. We can see this nice dark gray or black even streak. It's a very heavy mineral. If you feel this thing, it's very, very heavy. It has great cleavage in 3 directions. So there's a top and bottom, there's a side to side, there's a front and back. That's why it has this nice cube shape to it. So all together, that means that this mineral is galena. With its color, its streak, it's not very hard, but it comes in these heavy metallic cubes. Our second mineral was this nice yellow color. We get a streak on it. We can see it has kind of a light yellow streak. It is not hard. Can't scratch the penny, but it's kind of hard to scratch with your fingernail. It has kind of a resinous luster, kind of like a chewed gum look to it, and definitely has a smell to it. This is sulfur. Almost nothing else looks like this. This is the mineral and element sulfur. This is a native mineral. There's nothing else there except for the element sulfur. Next up is mineral number 3. This white mineral, pretty shiny. We could say that has a vitreous luster, kind of like it shines like glass. If we had a nice crystal of it, we would see it even more vitreous for that luster, but this one doesn't have those nice crystal surfaces. This has fracture. There's no cleavage surfaces, which again, it's good that we don't have that because that would look like we have cleavage, but in fact, that's just the crystal how it was formed in this nice hexagonal shape. But if we were to break it, it would turn out to be fracture. This mineral is very hard. It will easily scratch glass, meaning it's harder than 5.5. But this will scratch glass too. And I can actually scratch this mineral with this. So this has a hardness of 7, which means this mineral is quartz. Just pure silicate tetrahedron. Our fourth mineral is this shiny, golden, metallic luster mineral. Looks like gold. It's pretty heavy. This is often referred to as fool's gold. Notice if I get a streak, it's not gold at all. It's very dark gray or black streak. It's fracture, but it's pretty hard. I can scratch the glass with this mineral. The official name for fool's gold is pyrite, with this golden yellow color but a black streak, and it's pretty darn hard. Mineral number 5. This is what is in your pencil. Same exact thing. It's dirty and greasy. It will mark up the paper. It's very soft. I can easily scratch it with my fingernail, showing just how soft this mineral is. It has a nice metallic or submetallic luster to it, and you can see that streak is this kind of gray silver streak. And that's why we don't use lead in our pencils. We use graphite. This is the mineral graphite, another native mineral. It's kind of tannish but clear. It breaks off in these nice, just smooth, flat sheets. This is a crystal. I know it's bizarre. It looks like plastic. It's so crazy, but this is a natural crystal with one perfect cleavage, that one smooth surface. Notice all the edges around are bumpy. It's all fracture around that way, but because the atoms are arranged in sheets, well, the crystals will pull apart in sheets. It has kind of a tannish appearance. You could say clear if you look at a thin sheet of it. Some might say a vitreous luster or maybe a pearly luster, how it shines and reflects that light. Mineral number 7. We have this dark gray, fairly heavy. It's kind of metallic. Notice some of that sparkle there. So it's not as shiny and metallic as this one, so we might call this sub-metallic. Nice dark streak, pretty hard. It can scratch glass, but here's what really gives this mineral away. It is very magnetic, which makes it magnetite. We weren't very clever when we named that one. Magnetite is very strongly magnetic, and everything else matches up. Definitely fracture there. No cleavage surfaces. Mineral number 8. This really nice rhombus shape. See, it's not a perfect box, but kind of slanted. Clear. Doesn't have much of a streak. We can't really scratch the penny, but we also can't scratch it with our fingernail, so it has a hardness of 3. Notice how you can see 2 images. This mineral shows double refraction, we call it, where the light is split into 2 different beams. If we had acid, this would react with acid. The nice cleavage here means we have calcite. Our 9th mineral, this dirty reddish brown color, very earthy and dull luster. Its streak is this reddish brown. That's a big thing that gives this away. It looks very much like a rusty rock. This is the mineral hematite. But so is this. This is also the mineral hematite, even though this has more of a metallic or submetallic luster, shiny silvery. The thing that gives this away is being the same mineral as this. Notice if I do a real good job, if I streak it really well, I can get that same basic kind of rusty brown color. A little different from this sample, but this would be massive hematite, this would be specular hematite, but they're both just iron oxide. Our 11th mineral, these nice perfect cube shapes, pretty clear, and if you were to lick this, it would taste just like salt, because this is the mineral halite, which is salt, sodium chloride. Tastes salty, vitreous to pearly luster, and these nice cubes, very good cleavage in 3 directions. Mineral number 12, this is a pretty important one. This kind of pinkish, salmon, tan-colored mineral. You can get a little bit of a vitreous shine to it when the light is right, at least on the flat surfaces. Some surfaces aren't so flat. So this has cleavage in 2 directions. See, there's one direction of cleavage, and here's one direction of cleavage, but the other surfaces are going to be bumpy because this only has cleavage in 2 directions. This is a hard mineral. This will scratch glass, but quartz, this mineral with a hardness of 7, can scratch it. This one only has a hardness of 6. This is the mineral feldspar, or more specifically, K feldspar, potassium feldspar. There's a variety of minerals that can all be feldspars. This is the one that is mostly with potassium, K, instead of sodium or calcium. This rock here is a piece of granite, a really cool piece of granite. And you see lots of pink. That's this potassium feldspar. The gray is this quartz. And then on this end, you can see this muscovite, because this is a mixture of all 3 minerals. And then we have mineral number 13. 13 also breaks in these thin flakes, but notice it's much darker. These 2 minerals are very similar. They're both micas, but muscovite is the lighter color version. Biotite. Biotite. This is the dark black or dark brown colored version. Here we have this pretty purple and green vitreous color, but notice when I streak it, there's no purple, there's no green. It's not going to have any sort of streak to it. I can't scratch the nail, so it's got to be less than a 4.5. but I can scratch the penny, which tells me it's harder than a 3.5. This has a hardness of 4. The variety of colors with the white streak, a hardness of 4, tells me this mineral is fluorite. It might even fluoresce sometimes under UV light. And finally we have this guy, this kind of drab green, but notice there's no green streak. It scratches the glass. That was kind of some streak left behind, but there's the scratch right there. So this is pretty hard, about 6. And a way to remember this kind of olive green color, olivine is olive green.